What's up, YouTube? Back at you with another video. So we're here with an article from complex.com, which basically says that somebody got a hold of a screenplay, or the screenplay or script from the upcoming Michael Jackson biopic that's coming out next year in April. And from the nature of the titling of the article and the contents of the article itself, I didn't like it. And as I've said in many of my videos before where I talk about Michael Jackson, that anytime somebody's talking shit, I'm going to defend them. So I'm basically going to give my thoughts on what Joe Price from Complex said, and then we're just going to go from there. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the article titled "Leaked Michael Jackson Biopic Script is Reportedly Aggressive in its Pursuit to Make Michael Look Innocent of Child Abuse." And the article is by Joe Price, and if you can see, it says, "You mean the movie lied?" Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with, again, this article in particular, but it just seems like a whole underhanded, just jab at Michael Jackson, pretty much. So, and they, look at the picture that they used, for this shit. So automatically you see what they're trying to do or how they're trying to sway or influence people with this article. So it goes on to say that a leaked version of the script for the upcoming biopic Michael is said to tackle the child abuse allegations head on and paint the pop star as innocent. According to a report from Matthew Belloni of Puck, an iteration of the screenplay read by the reporter shows that the movie digs into the accusations that MJ sexually abused children at his Neverland ranch. The news is all the more surprising considering Jackson's estate is directly involved with the Antoine Fuqua directed biopic, which stars the late pop star's nephew Jaafar Jackson in his acting debut. However, the context in which the topic is tackled appears to want to convince viewers that he's innocent. If the script as written ends up on screen, which is a big caveat here because words and scenes are often changed during shoots and not everything goes into the final cut, this will be super controversial, wrote Belloni. It not only engages, it wants very much to convince you Michael is innocent. Belloni chose not to reveal too much of the script he reviewed out of respect for the filmmakers of the currently in production project, but he did reveal that the version he read actually opens with Jackson watching police arrive at his estate following allegations made by a then 13-year-old Jordan Chandler. The boy alleged in 1993 that Jackson molested him. The singer later reached a $20 million settlement with him. The screenplay is said to minimize the claims made against Jackson, including a scene in which lawyers John Branca and Johnny Cochran described the allegations as an extortion attempt. This assault, the scorching trauma will shake him to the core and never leave him, reads one passage of the script, which includes a scene of him being strip searched by police. Another portion describes Jackson, who faced a criminal trial over 7 counts of alleged child molestation, as uniquely comfortable around kids. Branca in another scene says, "It's not the kids I'm worried about, it's the parents. He's opening his door to tons of people we don't know, and there's a lot of greedy people in the world." Belloni noted that overall, the screenplay tackles these topics head on in an attempt to launder his image and depict him as a tragic, exploited figure who is drawn to children because he was robbed of his own childhood due to the Jackson 5 success and his abusive father, Joe Jackson, who will be played by Colman Domingo. Nia Long is set to play matriarch Catherine Jackson. The takeaway from Michael is that Michael Jackson had an abusive father who caused him to become a horribly insecure yet harmless Peter Pan, constantly reliving the childhood he never had. And ultimately, that was weaponized by bad people trying to exploit him, wrote Belloni. What's interesting is how aggressive the script is in the pursuit to make Michael look innocent. Now here's the thing that they put dead last, which really should have been the very fucking beginning of this article. It says Jackson was never found guilty of the allegations made against him, but they followed his legacy from the early 90s and beyond his death from an accidental overdose in 2009 at age 50. and then they want to plug Dan Reed's bullshit like at the end. So, all right, so let me respond to this shit first of all, because, all right, for one, it says Michael Jackson biopic script is reportedly aggressive in its pursuit to make Michael look innocent. I can't make somebody look other than what the fuck they are. You know what I'm saying? So we all know, history has shown, Michael was found innocent on all counts, on all sides of the fucking spectrum. If there was any shred of concrete evidence that Michael Jackson in fact did any of those things, they would have been put him in jail. Even in the 90s, they would have been put him in jail. There were no facts, okay? There was only, you know, he said, she said, hearsay. All right, so that's one. Another thing, it's not an aggressive pursuit to make Michael Jackson look innocent. He was innocent. That was the story. What other story are they going to tell? You see, the fact that they're actually addressing this already debunks, you know, the notion of the movie being a sanitized telling of Michael Jackson's story. Because a sanitized telling of Michael Jackson's story would be a story that doesn't address anything that's uncomfortable, anything that was bad, and only focuses on the good. So we already know the fact that they're even talking about it, it's not, we don't have to worry about it being sanitized. But why would they tell that story and then leave, you know, his innocence or what actually happened up to interpretation? You get what I'm saying? So let's say if, you know, that was me and somebody is making a biopic about my life, all right, and I'm not here, you know, I'm not involved at all because I'm not here anymore. Why would I want them to paint a, because basically it's almost as if they want this shit to be like the fucking, you know, the channel that won't be named, and how his shit panders to people that like Michael Jackson, and then also people that want Michael Jackson to be guilty or want him to be, you know, other than what he actually was. If you get what I'm saying. That's just what it is. The story was what it was. Michael Jackson was innocent. That's actually the story. How the fuck, like, how do they want them to approach this shit? I don't understand, because the estate, Michael Jackson's family, they're involved in it. And for the last decade or so, basically the media has been pretty much, you know, cluttered with anti-Michael Jackson shit on all sides, basically. And then there was never really any response to Leaving Neverland, at least an official response. You know, we have a lot of fans out there that they have created their own documentaries and their own responses debunking Leaving Neverland. But the thing is, these, you know, documentaries that they made, they were never on such a big platform like in HBO, like in theaters, or major streaming platforms where people will have access to it. So in essence, the story of Michael Jackson will not only celebrate his legacy, his story, his artistry, but then it'll also debunk everything that these motherfuckers, you know, were trying to say that he did in that bitch ass Leaving Neverland documentary, which these motherfuckers are making a part 2. Because what does it say? It says, in 2019, Dan Reed's HBO produced documentary Leaving Neverland focused on 2 men who said they were sexually abused by Jackson when they were children. The doc, which is set to get a sequel after Neverland. This is what I'm saying. So this is my thing. If I'm the writer, if I'm the director, my whole thing is to tell the story as real as it gets from Michael Jackson's perspective, but then for people to not only walk away, you know, with a better understanding, like I've said so many other times, but for there to be no real room for speculation, because the story just gave the fucking truth and the facts. That's the whole purpose of the fucking biopic, is to let people know this is what went on behind closed doors. Not only from Michael Jackson's perspective, but from the perspective of other people that were around him in his life. That's the point. You see what I'm saying? Because this is why I said that not only is this biopic going to attract the fans. Obviously, we already know that we are going to make up the majority of the viewership and the box office numbers of the film. But there's also going to be casuals, critics, and fucking haters. These people are going to come and see this shit too. I don't know what they're going to see, because what these people, they want to see, they want to go see the biopic and be like, yeah, see, he's guilty. Yeah, you see that? Well, you're not going to get that, because none of that shit actually fucking happened. Because this is something that Michael Jai White said in his DJ Vlad interview, his last one. And he basically said that people are always going to find an excuse to do what's in their heart. So if somebody just doesn't like you, it's going to be in their heart to just do or say things to try to bring you down. Whoever this fucking person is, what is the name of this guy? Joe Price. Basically, clearly this is a guy that does not like Michael Jackson, obviously. Clearly. And then based off of the way that it's written and how this article was presented, it's already set to influence you, to make people believe like, yeah, you know, they're not going to tell the real story in the Michael Jackson biopic. They're going to tell you he's innocent. Well, shit, the fucking court said he was innocent on all counts. So why wouldn't the movie say the same thing? I literally just don't understand like people's like mentality. If you don't like Michael Jackson, just say you don't fucking like him. But don't insinuate with your fucking article that he was anything other than fucking innocent. Because in the court of law, especially when you're a black man, contrary to, you know, popular fucking, you know, belief by a lot of ignorant ass people, Michael Jackson was a black man. And in the court of law, when you're accused by a non-black person of heinous fucking acts, the littlest, you know, inkling of concrete evidence that you did whatever it is that they're accusing you of doing, they're going to put you in jail for a very fucking long time. And then even then, Michael Jackson still suffered after the fact, because you still had people saying that he was fucking guilty. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you got like the Diddy's of the world and shit who people are coming out left and right with concrete evidence. Yet I don't see people talking the same shit about Diddy the way that they talk about Michael Jackson, who was proven innocent in the court of law. Diddy hasn't even gone to court yet. I don't see people going as hard on R. Kelly the way that they do Michael Jackson. And these are like there's literally no comparison between what R. Kelly did, Diddy's still doing, and Michael Jackson at all. At all. So that's my problem with, you know, people like that, articles like that, and critics who they're going in to expect like, you know, an opinion piece. This is not a fucking opinion piece. This is a biopic, you know, with supported by his estate, who I don't really rock with, but, you know, that's besides the point. And most importantly, his family. That's just the story. That's what it was. So if I was in fact innocent, or I'm in fact innocent, okay, and all my family and people close to me, they know that, they're doing a movie on my behalf, the movie is going to be a reflection of my innocence. We don't need another movie, you know, that is going to have people talking more shit. It's like ain't no movies out and people are talking shit already. So needless to say about the one that's coming out. Again, people should leave saying, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know what it was like for him. Now, the film is supposed to be, it's going to give people the opportunity to be a fly on the wall on those conversations and the things that were going on. Because we all know what happened. The man was fucking extorted multiple fucking times, freaking, you know, persecuted by law enforcement and shit, Tom Sneddon and them, and then, you know, whomever. So we already know the fucking story. These guys strip searched him, flipped his house upside down, and found nothing. That's what's going to be in the movie. That's not an aggressive pursuit to make somebody look innocent. That's what happened. I could understand if, like, let's say they went to his house and they did find some shit, but in the script it said that they found nothing. Then sure, you can say that. But again, that's what happened. The parents of what the fuck was his name? You know, I'm not sure if it was Jordan Chandler or the other duplicate nameless fuck that accused him, you know, in the fucking 2000s. But both fucking situations were very fucking similar. So the parents are looking at it like, wow, you're hanging out with this rich and famous entertainer, singer, all of that. Okay, we should be benefiting monetarily from your interactions with him. And when they saw that they weren't, how can we benefit off of this. This is how we're going to do it. You're going to tell the police that he did X, Y, and Z to you. And that's how we're going to get money. The first time that happened, the only reason why Michael Jackson settled out of court for $20 million, which again, in my opinion, I wouldn't have done that. But you have to understand why. The man wanted to move on with his fucking career. Like literally, that first accusation literally derailed Michael Jackson's career for the rest of his life, arguably, in my opinion, because I still don't really believe that he recovered from that. Like his career was the same way that it was before. And anybody who really knows Michael Jackson's career, you know that like it wasn't really the same. I'm like, yeah, Michael Jackson was still the greatest ever, but like the trajectory of where he was going to be, that shit got derailed. And the whole process was dragging on. It's like, all right, if I cut the check and this is going to stop this fucking circus that is fucking up my life, my career, and my physical health, I'm just gonna do that. And you gotta understand the mental space that he had to be in to be able to give money to people that weren't even fucking deserving of it in the first place. This is what happened. That's what happened. So again, the truth is the truth. The truth is not an aggressive pursuit to convince somebody of something. That's just what it is. That is the undisputed facts of the situation. Not from Michael Jackson, but out of the mouth of the people that was accusing him. The people on the other side. Those are the people that were coming out and saying, yeah, it was just about money. It was all about money. Because people wanted to cash in. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's everything that happened to Michael Jackson was literally all about dollars. But again, it just pisses me off that, you know, somebody would just make an article like this, and that this article is the opinion of the average Michael Jackson hater or critic in macrocosm. So a lot of people feel just like this. A lot of people feel just like this dude. You know, and again, I would really advise those people just don't see the film. If you just, so it's like, all right. It's like if a Michael Jackson hater really feels like he was guilty of all these heinous acts, why would you take 2.5 hours out of your day to watch somebody that you think is guilty of all this shit? Like, I don't fucking like Diddy. I don't watch him. I don't listen to any of his music. I don't even think of it. This guy's an afterthought. Like, I don't support anything that he does. So why would you do that? Like, I guess like maybe film critics, sure, you know, because what people said, and I actually saw the Bob Marley biopic like maybe a week and a half ago, some shit like that. And I understand where critics were coming from when they said that the biopic was very standard in its approach to Bob Marley's story, and that they really didn't thoroughly explore, you know, who Bob Marley was and what made his music so special, what made him, you know, an all-time great of music. You know, they didn't really do that. Like, honestly, in my opinion, that movie was Bob Marley for dummies. So if you didn't really know who Bob Marley was, then sure, you'll probably get something, you know, out of that. But for people that really knew who Bob Marley was, the film didn't really, you know, do that justice. You know, in this case scenario, all they have to do with the Michael Jackson biopic is show his story. Show his story. And then also include, you know, why he was so iconic. Why he was so talented. What made him, you know, the greatest entertainer of all time. His performances and all of that. And then just tell the truth of what happened, you know, in the 90s and early 2000s. You know, was that he was fucking innocent. That's it. That's not an aggressive pursuit of nothing. To make him look innocent, that's just what he was. And they're going to tell that story. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like what they want is like for them to include, you know, some scenes where he's doing something fishy or some shit like that. That's what they want. That's what they want, and you're not going to get that. That's just not going to happen. Like, go watch the Flex fucking, you know, Michael Jackson thing if that's what you want, or some shit. But you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that with this. And again, it's only fair that us as fans, we get something like that is a champion for his innocence, because again, for a long time we haven't had anything official that was a response to Leaving Neverland. Shit, I wasn't on the internet at that time for me to come out and say something about that shit, so we didn't have anything at the time. I mean, like, again, there's a lot of stuff available, but again, like, it's not like, you know, as easy as going on, you know, HBO, going on Netflix, going on Hulu, Amazon, etc., and then just it's right there, and then you could just watch it. So if I know somebody else like, oh, yo, what was that documentary or some shit that, you know, Michael Jackson, you know, about Michael Jackson being innocent? Oh yeah, bro, it's on Amazon. You know, you can watch it right there for free. We didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? And then again, for these motherfuckers to be coming out with a part 2 called After Neverland, it's like, we need something to combat that. So that way, by the time the biopic comes out, the story has to be so powerful and so strong that people are not even going to want to pay Leaving or After Neverland any attention. That's the whole point. That's the goal. You know, so we need some shit like that, you know, to combat that, because we can't be having people just coming out left and right, you know, with their anti-Michael Jackson shit, and then there's never any real, you know, official response to that shit. You know, we can't be having that. So it's like from the biopic moving forward, it should be, you know, an incline. It should be uphill in terms of his, you know, perception surrounding his, you know, his controversies, you know, his artistry, his legacy, all of that shit. It should be uphill from there, not downhill. You know, so you know, for Joe Price and all that shit, fuck you, and Complex, y'all need to fire this guy. Y'all can't be having people just, you know, uploading freaking, you know, articles like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody's ready to have a platform where they do shit like that. Because even if, let's say, I was a critic of Michael Jackson and all that, one, I wouldn't even be talking about him if I didn't like him. And then, you know, two, if I did, I would just wait to see the movie to then make my opinion. So then I could, so like, let's say if I felt like that, and then I saw the movie and I felt like it was an aggressive pursuit to make Michael Jackson look innocent, then say that after the movie. But don't try to paint a picture, you know what I'm saying, with your words and shit like that, and then think that this shit is gonna fucking fly, because it's not, you know. But that's pretty much my thoughts on that. Like I said, y'all can count on me to respond to bullshit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take out the trash. So this shit, I had to easily fucking, you know, come on here and debunk that, because I saw what this person was trying to do and I ain't with it, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, what are your thoughts? Please be sure, as always, to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.
Good luck.